onto his elbows and externally rotate slightly. Okay? Slightly. Okay? I come in back here. Okay? So you'll have that spine of the scapula, and then the infraspinatus comes here and attaches on, right? Okay? Now, which way is my friction? Do I go this way or do I go this way? This way? Or this way?
That way.
This way. This way. This way. Yes. Okay? So we'll come here, okay? And I'll get right, feel it right there? Right in there. I do a dummy finger. I put one finger over the other, okay? I come right down into his tendon, okay? And then I put force. I oftentimes will use my other hand. If you can't see, come around, okay? And I'll come and deep friction there.
That's on the tendon?
Yeah,
Yep.
Feels good though. No, it doesn't hurt.
Doesn't hurt.
No.
But I am on his tendon. Yep. Boom. It's simple, okay? But you got to be on the tendon, all right? And I've also seen, and see, you can even see kind of the amount of force that I put in there. I've seen people come in here with their thumb and come that way. The problem is, if you have hypermobility, right there's your tendon. If I have hypermobility of my thumb, I can really put my thumb and make it susceptible. And what I would do in this technique, okay, because oftentimes you come here, your thumb kind of falls right where that infraspinatus tendon is. I'd bring my other thumb over and dummy it. It saves hyperextension in your joint. And I come over that way. Feel that? That's it. We're going to show supraspinatus, okay? Let's picture this in your handout as well. Now, what you need to do with supraspinatus is you have to basically you should have his arm internally rotated. You usually comes towards the edge a little bit, okay? And you usually just have him not too much, just internally rotated, and that exposes the supraspinatus tendon, okay? All right. Pretty much what you do is you come off the acromion, you drop right off of that, right there, okay? Same thing, I dummy finger it. And I get right on it and deep friction. See that? Mm-hmm. I am not doing this on, off. That's really irritating. I'm just coming right off the acromion, okay, and coming slightly lateral to that and coming straight down, okay? And his arm should be in internal rotation. If one position that you'll oftentimes see in the clinic, but sometimes people clinically can't get into this position, is if I put it behind their back here. That really exposes it, okay? But oftentimes somebody that's really irritated here can't get their arm behind them. So you just kind of internally rotate them that way. If you do not internally rotate them, you will not expose the tendon from underneath the acromion or the coracoid. It won't come up. So you're probably deep frictioning the biceps. Okay? Does that make sense? Oh. All right. Patella tendon. Okay? Patella tendon is one of those tendons that oftentimes, okay, gets irritated. Now, this is not a tendon with a sheath, right? I gave you on that handout I just handed out all the tendons with the sheath. Is patella tendon on there? No, it's not. You're not even looking. Did you look? There you go. You got it. It's not on there, okay? Patella tendon does not have a sheath, okay? Technically speaking, and I'll show it both ways maybe for the video, but I should have him in a long sitting position, okay? I will tell you clinically, though, if you lengthen the tendon anyways, you're getting a good, you're getting more of the tendon. You're exposing more of it. I think you're able to deform more of the tendon. I always, almost always, except for a really painful tendon, do it in a flex position, okay? But it doesn't go with celiac rules. So I just, don't want somebody, well, it's not on the list. So you'd be okay to say, yes, I would do deep friction massage with the leg extended. That's okay, okay? I'm just saying clinically, somebody really, really chronic, I I probably will just go right to a flex position, okay? But what I oftentimes will do with somebody who's a little more subacute, I'll start them extended and then flex them into the treatment and do it that way. Again, I come right on it, I do my dummy finger effect, okay, and I just friction. I stabilize with my thumb. If I leave that thumb, do you see how I didn't get as much force there? I stabilize back here. I'm able to put much more force in there. I've seen people do it this way. Yep. Come here. Okay. And so just for the sake of the video, technically speaking, according to, no, you don't need to look at my head. According to Syriacs, we should probably have him extended because it's not a tendon with a sheath. Okay. Clinically, though, I would advance him from an extended deep friction position into having him flexed. Okay. It just adds another dimension to it. And that's that. Okay. Representing Syriacs here. But I got him extended here. I just come in and do here. But do you see how much more lengthening I had with him flexed? Okay. But again, somebody who's a little more subacute, that might be too irritating for him. So I start him here, and then I can even, in this position, then flex him up, deform him up here. And you work. I don't just stay on one aspect of that tendon. You're going to work all the way down from origin to insertion of that tendon and work the whole thing. Okay, obviously you're going to find areas of that tendon, probably near its attachment or insertion, that are more dense, and that's where you're going to concentrate the mobilization. 45 seconds, okay? Let it relax, take your pressure off, stretch them, okay? Elongate that tissue, and you're going to have to repeat that 3 to 5 times, probably to kind of get it to shut off that trigger point. Again, we're providing an anoxic state to the muscle by adding the compression, okay? Stripping is not what they do downtown strength. Well, it is what they do downtown strength, but we're going to strip the muscle that the trigger point is in, okay? So again, what we do is you do add lotion.
Sure.
Thank you. Okay? So we do add lotion, and I'm going to go from the origin down into the insertion, but I'm going to try to go right specific over that trigger point with my knuckles. I can reinforce my knuckles if I have to, okay, or I can come straight down. So I'll show both of them. I get right on there. If I have to stabilize her head, I can, and I'll come straight down, right over that. I go parallel to the muscle fibers and come straight down. You see how I bounced over that? That's a trigger point down there, too. Okay? So again, my force is a large amount of force to get through the whole muscle, and I go parallel to the tissue fiber, and I strip right down that muscle. It is not as comfortable, I don't think, especially if you've got a highly irritable trigger point, as the compression. The compression, eventually you get numb. Okay? The stripping, you are pretty much holding it, and I put a lot of force, and I bounce kind of over it. Okay? And what I'm trying to do is just elongate, right there, that trigger point, okay, and deform it in a longitudinal fashion. Okay, so I got to keep doing that, and that sometimes can be irritating. Sometimes feel kind of good, too. Feel okay? I can, if I want to, come, if I have to, and reinforce either my knuckles or my wrist. And hold her that way. And that's called stripping.